Wow, what a wonderful day. I've been here at Hidden Lake and I've been fishing this lake for the last couple of weeks and really have enjoyed catching monster bass. This lake is loaded with some of the largest bass that I've ever seen or caught in Arizona. I'm here today with Richard Mladic, the owner of the Hidden Lake in Buckeye, Arizona. Richard, can you tell me a little bit about the Hidden Lake and the vision you have for this amazing place?
Sure. Hidden Lake, it's a 60-acre lake that was created as a result of a sand and gravel operation. It was purchased by my wife and I 2 years ago, and we started a massive environmental remediation project and habitat construction project that involved everything from removing the legacy mining equipment all the way up to building fish structure and bird habitat, and really completely rethinking the environment around the lake and the consumer experience, both from a fishing standpoint as well as just from a pedestrian shore standpoint.
Now, I know in talking to you, you brought in outside consultants that have worldwide reputations in aquaculture and plant life, and you've planted fish. Tell me about some of the real ergonomical things that you've done to make this place just amazing.
Sure. I think one of the greatest people that we brought in was a gentleman by the name of Paul Cassidy, who's with Aquatic Consultants out in New Mexico. Phenomenal company, and Paul completely changed my perspective on the entire aquatic environment. And what they do is they specialize in trophy fishing lakes. So they took the lake, they took a bathymetry map of the bottom of the lake, and they constructed literally every single inch of the shoreline. They blew up on AutoCAD and constructed habitat for everything from bluegill spawning beds to bass spawning habitat to all kinds of fish hiding structure. I mean, you name it: brush piles, log piles, ambush habitat, all of it, all the way around the entire lake. And it's a 10-year project for us to execute on that. But
I can tell you that habitat pays off. There are big fish in this lake.
Yeah, and that that's a result of that type of detailed management. Having a bait fish plan, having aquatic sampling is an ongoing part of what we do, and water sampling is a very important part of what we're constantly working on.
And aside from the fishing, I know that you and your wife have big plans for the rest of this property too. Talk about some of those ideas and plans that are already in action.
Sure. I mean, from a long-term vision, we're 1 mile south of downtown Buckeye. So on a very long-term vision, we look forward to the day where we can actually integrate the project into a broader urban development with the city of Buckeye and have that connection to downtown. But that's quite a ways out. And in our more immediate future, we're very much focused on creating an opportunity for people to come out here and not just fish all day, but then spend the night camping, RV, glamping, those type of things. We have live music opportunities out here, place for great corporate and private events. But like I mentioned before, at the same time, really focused on creating a consumer experience and a shore experience that rivals the quality of the fishing experience on the water.
Sure. How does someone go about coming out here to fish? How does that process work?
I'm glad you asked that because we often get people who just show up and they see that the property is actually a gated property and they're not sure what to do. If you go to the website, which is hiddenlakeaz.com, all of the information is on there, but we try and encourage people to make reservations. It's a very important part of our ability to shut down the property sometimes and not leave people who may have driven a long distance, just very disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Richard, I know you have another vital team member and partner. Why don't you introduce him to me?
Sure. This is McCallum. We could not be more happy to have Mark in this project with us. He's just such an integral part of every single thing that goes on out here.
So tell me a little bit about the fishing experience at Hidden Lake.
So out here, it's Hidden Lake is more geared towards a trophy fishing lake. We're very technical fishing, a lot of flipping and pitching underneath the salt cedar and salt bush and stuff like that. So, I mean, you're not really coming out here to catch just some 2-pounders, 3-pounders or stuff like that. We have some huge girls in here, really big fish that are tucked up underneath there. So it's not really your average fishing lake, to say the least, but we are going towards the trophy fishing lake with these big fish and the technical fishing that it entails.
It's a great place, I think, as a tournament fisherman who fishes all over the country. I can come here and hone my skills. I spent the last 2 days just flipping and pitching. And there are very few places in Arizona where you can do that all day and not run out of water, not run out of spots to flip and pitch. It allowed me to try different baits, different techniques, different lines, maybe a different rod. So I think it's really truly geared towards that trophy fisherman hunter. I want the big double digit. I'm not so sure. I don't know about what your things are, Mark. It may not be the place you want to, bring a child to fish from shore. It's a little more difficult than that.
Yeah, I mean, you still can get on them. It's a very technical lake, like you said, but I mean, you can still get them in open waters. You're not always flipping and pitching. You can throw a nice spinner out there or a crank on a good day and come out with 30 fish. So it is kind of off and on, depending on when the lake's turning on and turning off. The fishing kind of varies as it goes.
I know you learned some of the secrets of this water already. Is there anything you want to share?
Yeah, I don't get to fish nearly as much as I wish I could. Once you own a fishing lake, you don't get to fish nearly as much as you should. But a lot of hard work out here, but there's no too many secrets to it. You got to kind of get out there and explore it for yourself. Fisherman never really gives out a secret.
And can you tell us one more time the website address where people can go and get a reservation?
Yeah, so hiddenlakeaz.com. That's kind of where we pump everything through, the reservations, all the pricing, camping, wedding, events, all that information's right there laid out on our website very clearly.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having me out today.
Thank
I
you,
really
Jason.
enjoyed myself.